What is up, everybody? Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. This is the Brianiac. How'd you do, Brian? I bet you weren't expecting it to come live right there and then, huh?
I was not. Clearly, I was not.
Me neither.
You caught me. So doing good. Excited.
Very excited. We have a great guest tonight, so let's go ahead and bring him out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is comic book artist extraordinaire from books like ACCELERATORS, Dead Legends, and the upcoming Star Trek Mirror War. Star Trek, y'all. Give a mighty hearty station to Gavin Smith.
Station.
Yeah.
How's it going, fellas?
It's going great. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, very excited.
Yeah.
So first up, let's just do it. Tell us about Star Trek and what you're doing with Mirror War.
Man, okay, so I'm literally starting the third issue right now. It's a little off screen right here, but I am literally starting penciling page 1 of issue 3 like about an hour ago.
Nice.
It's really fun. I'm working with Scott and David Tipton. They've been in the Mirror universe for Star Trek of the Next Generation side of things for a couple years now. They've done a couple of books. And I get to join the party. I've been talking with IDW for a while, and it was always a matter of clearing up my schedule and finding the right thing. And when I initially talked to them this last time, it just sort of happened that Star Trek was coming up, and it was this book, which I think is it's a pretty great deal. It's a great book for IDW. Probably one of their bigger events going on, other than The Last Ronin. So I'm honored to be a part of it. As far as the content of the book, without giving too much away, it's wild. I mean, it's your favorite characters of the Next Generation, but evil instead of discovering new planets. They're out conquering new planets. It's awesome. So much fun.
Yeah. The Mirror universe is one of the fan favorite bits of Star Trek. Are you a Star Trek fan?
I'll be honest, I wasn't. And it wasn't that I had anything against it. I just never was on my radar. Every once in a while, an episode would pop up, and I'd watch it, and I enjoyed it. And I find it, like one of the first people I told when I got this was my friends Maddie and Arya, who live in Brooklyn. And I stay with them every year. I do New York Comic Con, and last New York Comic Con, so 2019, I came back from the show and I went to their apartment, and Arya was watching The Next Generation, the Four Lights episode.
Oh yeah,
do you know that one? Okay.
Oh yeah.
So that was the first time I'd ever seen it, and I was like, "This rules." So I'd watched a little more since then. You have to excuse Coco; she's barking back there.
Station Coco.
Yeah. Oh, sweetheart. And so that got me, and I was like, okay, this show's awesome. And when I was in the tryout phase for this book was about 3 weeks long for me. Because I was doing different tests for them to make sure. I don't know. I was up against some other people to get the job.
Okay.
I don't know who they are, but I won.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, and so I did like the initial tryout, which I posted on Twitter, which was drawing of Picard and Riker and the Enterprise. It's all they wanted. I ended up doing a cover, so like cover quality type thing, and then I did a series of like 9 panels of each of the main characters from the first season of TNG, and then some other stuff here. Oh, it was more like 4-week process because I did one of these a week. Then I did a drawing of Mirror Picard to send them, and then I did turnarounds of all the main Mirror characters, so Data, Riker, Picard, Troy, and I think Geordi. I'm not sure.
Nice.
It's in there.
Do you get like pictures of Patrick Stewart and Jonathan Frakes all around you right now?
No, it's all over my phone. It's ridiculous, and like not only that, I'm saving like Star Trek memes.
Nice.
That are ridiculous. So like I can draw from those, and I'm starting to pick up the language of Star Trek. I'm starting to pick up the humor of it because it is a pretty dead serious show. But once you figure out what makes Picard great and that he's kind of a curmudgeon, it just makes it so much more enjoyable because it's like hilarious. It kind of like gets his goat.
Yeah.
And and then then just to be drawing them like anytime I post a drawing of it, they're like, "Oh, Picard's so ripped. What's going on here?" It's like, yeah, that's the book, and it's hilarious, but kind of awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. Is it seems like going to the in the mirror universe, they're all just swole.
Oh,
I mean,
like everyone's just jacked to hell. It's awesome. Even like someone like Reg Barkley is like jacked. And I'm like, all right, I'm here for it. It's fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But like and then getting to like do things like I never imagined in my career I'd be drawing Whoopi Goldberg into a comic, but here we are.
Oh yeah.
So
there you go, and you get to do all the ships and the space battles and all that stuff too.
What a blast! Yeah. The ships are fun, but like learning all of them is like, whoa, there's so much.
I was gonna say there's a lot of different ones, man.
Yeah, it's intense. Like luckily Scott and David are great. They know I'm kind of a newbie when it comes to this stuff, so they're blasting me with reference pictures, and we have a private chat on Facebook that anytime I'm lost, I'm like, I don't know what the Negvar Klingon ship looks like. What I don't know what that means, and they're like this. Oh, okay, great. What's a Cardassian space station? I don't know. Here, okay, and it's nice. Cool. Like they're taking, like, and it's funny, like, because I'm now starting the 7th season. I might be midway through the 7th season. I kind of make myself take breaks from it because if I binge too much, I don't really process it.
Yeah.
But I do try to watch it as I'm working to get in that mind zone. Like I do that a lot with projects I work on. Whenever I'm watching Dead Legends. Whenever I'm drawing Dead Legends, I'm watching martial arts movies and content, accelerators, time travel stuff. Anything like one time I did like this motorcycle western one shot. So I did a lot of watched a lot of westerns.
Yeah.
And stuff, and I think I watched Sons of Anarchy too during that too. Just it gets me in that zone just so I'm. It's like, oh, okay, this is I'm creating this stuff, so I try to surround myself with it. But
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But if I'm not absorbing it, I'll put on something stupid that I can ignore and draw through. Excuse me.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. That's super cool. So do you, instead of listening to music, you like pop in something? Because Brian usually asks. Brian always asks like what music people listen to when they create. So
yeah, I usually say music for the car.
Nice.
I enjoy that more, and I don't get a chance to. It's funny because like I say watch, and it's almost radio at this point because I actually have. I'll show you real quick. My TV's up here. I got some wrestling on right now.
Nice.
But like TV's up here, my head's right here. So like it's cool if like and I put the TV right there for reference. So if like I gotta draw like right now on this page, I've got like one of the shuttle pods on my screen. So like if I'm having trouble with that, I'll pop it up onto my screen because my screen is attached to my computer. So I just run an HDMI cord through that.
That's a cool.
And so so like how I'm talking to you now, I just HDMI to another screen and on Netflix or Hulu or HBO or whatever. Works out. And then if I need reference, just pop Photoshop over there and blow it up and drop from the screen.
Now this Mirror War, this is like a long series, right? It's like how long is it?
It's so I think the grand total of it is the first issue 0 comes out next week. So it's 13 issues altogether. There's a 0 issue, there's 8 issues of the main series, which is the through story, and there's 4 tie-ins, and I'm drawing the 8, the main chunk. Yeah.
Okay. So cool. Is the 0 jumping on point, or
I believe so? Yeah, it's Scott and David who are writing it, and then it's Carlos Naito, I believe is his name. That's what it looks like. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm going from Tetsuya Naito, so I'm pronouncing it like that. I hope I'm right. If I'm wrong, Carlos, sorry. But he's drawing issue 0, and I think he's done some mirror stuff, universe stuff in the past.
Okay.
And yeah, and I haven't even read it, so it'll be a jumping on point for me as well. I've seen bits and pieces of it because I need reference for what's going on, but not the whole thing.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
So are you coloring this time too, or
No,
are you,
that was
oh,
that was a very that's going to be Charlie Kirchhoff is coloring me.
okay.
He's done a lot of the Star Trek Year 5 coloring, and I'm not totally familiar with his backlog, but the Year 5 stuff. When I found out it was him, I picked up some of his issues, and I was happy. I had
That's
zero
great.
notes the first issue. He Yeah, we just got the full proof of what the first issue is going to look like the other day. Zero notes on my end. I was happy,
Nice.
and that doesn't happen. So that's never been a thing before, and even on my own coloring, I have notes. So for myself, but no, when I took this on, I ever since we started Dead Legends, I've been in a position where I've been coloring myself on everything. And initially, I only want to color covers that I do. Like that was kind of my game plan when even when we started Dead Legends. But with the budget we had for Volume 1, which wasn't much, I decided to take on coloring. And at the time it was oh, okay, this is going to be a neat little challenge because, like, I get to see if I can do a book start to finish that I colored it. And I'd colored myself on. I known how to color. I learned how to color in Cupid school, and I'd done some stuff before. Like my very first book, Human City, I self-published, and there's probably only about like 500 copies out there somewhere. But I grayscaled that myself, and I'd done gray tones for books on a lot of things, and then I did a story for that Webtoon hired me to do one time that I colored, but Dead Legends was the big test to see if I could really really do it, and I did it, and then ever since then I kept getting hired to keep coloring myself.
Oh man.
And I know it was almost like a death sentence. So I after like I did my heavy metal thing, that was colored by me. After that. I did this Australian project with Eric Palicki that I colored all by myself as well. A couple other things, and I just kept coming up where I was doing the coloring. So I made a conscious decision that I wanted to just pencil and ink the next thing I did.
Yeah.
Like I'll still color Dead Legends 3, and maybe some other indie projects down the line. We'll see. Like I have another thing cooking up with Rich Doick that probably we won't get to until who knows, maybe 2023.
Okay.
But
That's exciting.
yeah, Rich is awesome.
Yeah.
We put together a cool pitch, and then we kind of had to put it on hold because of Trek. Maybe I color that, but like the plan is right now was to find someone else. But when we get back to it, I might color it just because it's fun. It is fun, but like with something like this, it's so in depth. I needed to just concentrate on making my inks the best they could be.
Yeah. The idea of you working with Rich is awesome. Like,
oh yeah,
Rich is
and I
a
have been
super
buds
cool
for a
dude.
while. And I've kind of worked with him in the past. Like I did a 5-6 page short for Gutter Magic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like it was, and it wasn't. I mean, Gutter Magic is his, but he did this like Tales of the Gutter Magic, and I forget who wrote the story I drew, but it was just a little 5-pager, and I think it was supposed to come out. I did it in the in between phase from when it went to IDW to SourcePoint.
Yeah.
So I think originally, IDW was going to do Gutter Magic 2, and then SourcePoint ended up doing it. I think it came out through SourcePoint, but I don't really know.
Yeah.
And then I did sort of. I guess you can call it a story. It was more of like a old school like storybook illustration where he did a Tales of the Wailing Blade sort of thing. So he got a bunch of writers to do prose stories, and then artists. Like I know Liana Kangas did one. I did one. I think maybe Adam Gorham did one. Bunch of other people, but like we would just draw a splash page and then accompanying prose would be on the page opposite. And so I did that with Kenny Porter, and I loved it. And then when I was doing that for him, and I colored it, of course. But I was very happy with how the colors turned out. But after I did it, I told him like, hey, like we should do something together, and we agreed, and we came up with a couple different he had a couple of things in mind, and then he let me bounce some of my ideas off of it. He's pretty much like any idea I throw at him for it, he's usually cool with. So it's a very nice collaboration.
Nice.
But yeah, it's on hold. It'll be a while. I know it's very premature for me to be talking about it, so I won't get too much into
we don't,
it.
yeah,
but like the first 14 pages of the first issue are done.
Okay.
Yeah. So
cool.
When I get working on it, it'll hopefully go by quickly.
All right, I want to segue into this because I read Dead Legends today, and then I read this Dead Legends 2 Premiere Edition, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
This was freaking awesome.
Thank you.
And Brian let me borrow this, and it was perfectly timed because I have recently watched all the Bruce Lee films that I had never seen, right? Except for Enter the Dragon, right? And so my buddy Bullseye Bob from the YouTube channel Everything Comics is a huge like Hong Kong cinema fan. And he's been sending me movies to watch and things like that, right? So I'm getting into it. Shang-Chi just came out this weekend. And then I read this. Yeah, I thought it was okay.
Okay.
But Dead Legends was awesome.
Thank you.
That book has so much energy, and the fighting works so freaking well. The way you deliver that action, that momentum. I'm just saying, I was incredibly impressed. It was dope as hell.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. I reread it, getting prepared for this. But actually, like how I found out about it was because I'm one of Liana's patrons, and she was talking about meeting up with you at Chicago Con, and then she was showing off your Watchmen print that you were selling there, and she said she picked one up for me, but I haven't seen her since that happened because of the whole pandemic thing. So I don't know if she still has it.
I'm sure she does. She's like me. She gets everything. She's a pack rat. So
yeah.
I can love her for that. Yeah,
I can relate. But yeah, so I looked into Dead Legends, picked that up, and man, it just blew me away. And that was where I got the inspiration to ask you to do that Wolverine commission because
I love that Wolverine commission. That one was so much fun. I got to get you a color print of that. But
yeah.
Well,
I can show it off real quick.
Please do.
I did bring it over here so we could show it off real quick.
Brian's always weird stretching his original art and commissions.
Yeah, that's
I
part of the segment
painted
of the
that.
show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is one of the few paintings commissions. Like I do them every once in a while, but this one was fun.
Yeah.
I made sure, like, because I did make a colored print of it. Like I made sure to scan the black and white first, because I'm always getting nervous before I paint something, and I just wanted to, like, if I need to do it again, I can.
Yeah.
But very cool.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, because I'd always wanted a Wolverine commission, but when I saw the way you do action and things like that, I was like, this would be perfect.
And,
I
and,
wanted
and
to
so
wait till
you're
the right thing.
And so you were like, hey, I want Wolverine fighting like 200 ninjas. Like
I forget. I think it was just initially. And correct me if I'm wrong, because you went through Josh to get it, right? My
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think the initial commission was Wolverine with full background, and that was the only direction I had.
wow.
Right?
I think I had something in there about like making sure like he was healing or injured in some way.
That makes sense. So
Damaged Wolverine.
Battle damaged Wolverine. Yeah, that sounds right. So then I think I kept you waiting a while, so I took it a step far. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I tend to do that if I keep people waiting. So for the couple people that are out there waiting for me right now, please be patient. It'll be worth it.
Yeah, that's a really dope piece. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So are you a fan of like the like old martial arts movies and modern martial arts movies and stuff?
Oh yeah. I think one of the stories I like to tell is when I was a kid, and for those of you that are under 25, might not know about these things we used to have called video stores, where I'd go, as a kid, my dad would take me there. We had, everyone had a Blockbuster, and the place that we had that was eventually bought by Blockbuster was called Video Stop, and that was about 2-3 blocks away from my house. I could walk there, and my dad and I would go there, and my brother, and we'd rent martial arts movies all the time. And there was one story my dad likes to tell to embarrass me, which I don't think is very. I think it's funny. We're across the store, and I pick up some martial arts movie. I forget what, but I go, Dad, can we rent this? And he goes, what's it rated? And I go, R. And he goes, no, put it back. And I just go, but it's only for violence. And that was always the thing. So usually we get him to relent for that. But
nice.
Yeah, we were always running martial arts movies. Grew up on all the Van Damme, Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee, you name it, Don the Dragon Wilson. What else? It was just really anything we can get our hands on, some Shaw Brothers stuff, here and there, and we were all about it.
Yeah, if anybody out there is a fan of martial art films, kung fu cinema, and things like that, you got to check out Dead Legends. I'm telling you, it was such a great read. There's an entire issue and an entire chapter that there's no dialogue except for one word, and it is masterfully done. Just so freaking well done, man. And James Maddox is your partner in that one, the writer, right?
Yes, yes, James. James is one of my best friends. We've been friends for a long time, and it turned into a real friendship. We were just con buddies, and now we're he was at my wedding, and which is huge. We'd been wanting to work together for a while. I have told this story before, but so I'll kind of footnote it. But we were working on another person's book, and that fell through. And then we tried to do something else with them, and that fell through. And we were just kind of waiting on someone who at the time had a higher status than us to kind of elevate us up. And we were like, why are we doing this when we can just do all of this ourselves? And let's just do something we want to do instead of drawing someone else's story and trying to, attach our cart to that horse. And, and then we were at a convention in Louisville one night, and I was doing commissions, and he was just hanging out in my room, and it was just what do you want to work on? And I was like, I've always wanted to do a martial arts book. That's something I've always wanted to do.
Nice.
And it was just one of those things. James wasn't as familiar with the materials I was, and I had the idea of Blind Tiger in my hip pocket for a while. I just didn't know, at the time I wasn't sure if I'd ever get a chance to work on a creator-owned book, at the time, to be able to afford to do it.
Yeah.
And so, it always kind of seemed like a pipe dream that I'd get around to doing something with a character named Blind Tiger. And, we started talking more, and we developed Yan, and he came up with Damon, and neither one of us can remember which one of us came up with Red Death. We've had this conversation a couple times recently while we've been doing the rounds interviews, and there was a live interview we were doing this where we were I thought you came up with that. No, I'm pretty sure it was you. I was no, because you did and it's so funny, but so neither of us are sure which one of us created Red Death. I mean, we did came up with her. I definitely came up with the look, and
she's my favorite character in the book. For real.
She's awesome, and we've had a blast with her. She just gets better and better. She ends up having an awesome run in this go around, especially by the time. I mean, issue 4 and 5 are just so loaded with good Red Death scenes. And then James started coming up with all these side characters, and there was one time where we were about to go to Heroes Con, where at the time he was living in West Virginia, and it's halfway between my place and Heroes, and I went to his house and crashed the day before Heroes, and we just sat around watching martial arts movies and drinking whiskey, and I was just like, we're stealing this, we're adapting this, and we came up with a bunch of stuff, like he had never seen Enter the Dragon or Bloodsport or a lot of other movies I brought along with me.
Yeah.
Like I brought a stack, but those were the two main ones that I was like, I want to take from this and this, but I've got a lot of other ideas I want to fill in these blanks with, and he picked up on the language really quick. He came up with a lot of he recognized a lot of tropes and then took them, and that's kind of the thing with making comics, and especially creator-owned comics, is taking that trope and like twisting and molding it into your own new thing, and filing off the serial numbers in a way. But
Yeah.
he like I said, started picking up on the language of those movies right away, and I think we were just able to tell like a good story, like it. I wanted to do martial arts because I wanted to draw the action, and then he went and turned it into a great story.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys have. Oh, you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Brian.
Okay. Yeah. And I was going to say, it's like, it is a martial arts comic, but there's a fair amount of, character development going along through. I mean, like it's, I did want to ask about that silent issue though. Cause like, is there another one in Dead Legends 2?
there is. Yeah.
Okay.
Next, not this issue that comes out Wednesday, but 2 weeks. There's another one.
Okay.
It is also the issue 4 of that issue. So it's a lot of the character development stuff, like, and that's why I couldn't do this without James. I talked about him collaborating with Rich. Like I said earlier, it's great collaboration. Collaborating with the Tipton brothers is awesome. They're great. They keep me up to date. But working with James is the truest, probably most pure collaboration, as far as like, besides, I'm doing a lot of the heavy lifting with the art and putting in more hours as far as that goes. But like, it is, Dead Legends is collectively ours. Like 50-50. Like we both put a lot into it, and to tell that story, and with the silent issue is a great example. It also goes back to the pitch, which is the first 8 pages, where Blind Tiger attacks and kills Ian's husband in the first issue. That was those pages, which is at the end of the first issue, was the initial. That was the first thing drawn for Dead Legends, and those script pages, we were initially like very scripted out. It's like, here's the fight, here's punch A, punch B, block, whatever, duck, and I was like, can I? Like, may I? And like, and so like when I turned it into him, it was completely different. But, it's like I said, it is the action that I'd always wanted to draw, and I didn't want it dictated to me. And James understands that, and we've built a very cool language with the way we build our fight scenes, where we definitely talk about everything that needs to happen. And now his fight scenes that he writes are bullet points, and it's just do your thing. I trust you to get this and make it look good, but and sometimes it's literally just 3-page fight scene, go, and which is what I want for something like that. He's like, as long as Red Death hits this mark and Blind Tiger does this and yada yada, then it's fine. And that's how we built issue 4. So by the time we got around to the script of issue 4 was like 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. That was it. Like, that was it. It was just like, make sure you hit these marks. And I think the issue 4 that we have coming up, that's the other silent issue, is a little bit longer than that because it's a lot more intensive, but like barely. Like, because we I'll give a preview of it. I've said this before in interviews, so it's not that spoilery, but issue 4 is a 3-way gang fight silent issue at an abandoned Red Roof Inn.
Oh,
Nice.
man.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah. It
That's
gets
very exciting.
kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But
man.
it's literally the best comic I've ever drawn.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So this is releasing digitally, right? And then it's collected as a graphic novel?
Yeah, so issue 1, the premiere edition, which you read today, that's issue 1. That's the only full issue that's going to be in print. Then 2, 3, 4, and 5 are going to come out on Comixology or like Spinwiz or other digital comics platforms. And then the trade paperback will be out October 13th in trade, in trade, so it'll be in comic stores everywhere. And I think I may have them early, so if you're at New York Comic Con, I may have them. I gotta double check, but I'm pretty sure I have them then.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
And
Well, I was going to
and
ask
that's
real quick.
also- Yeah, go ahead.
Well, are there other aren't you? Don't you have other con bookings coming up too? Or
Yeah.
it won't be out by then though.
It won't. So, so New York Comic Con is a big coming out Friday for me. So we'll have the last New York Comic Con was 2019, and we only had issue 1 of Dead Legends. That was when the first issue was dropping. So it'll be the first time at New York with the Dead Legends trade, and then the Volume 2 trade will be out, and Star Trek Mirror War #1 comes out October 6th, and New York Comic Con starts the 7th. So
Nice.
it's going to be, I'm going to have a lot
It's
of
good
new
timing.
stuff for New York Comic Con. Oh, it's great. I love it. But yeah, I do have a couple more bookings before that, like this upcoming weekend, starting Thursday to Sunday. I'll be at Lexington Toy and Comic Show in Lexington, Kentucky. I think that's the only show where James and I will both be there for the year. And then the week after that, I'm in. So next week, I'm in Cincinnati. It's my birthday weekend, so bring me presents.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. But that's September 17th through 19th, I believe. And then I've got a couple weeks, then it's New York Comic Con time, and then I'm not doing anything until C2E2, and that's it for me this year, I believe. Actually, no, I think that I keep forgetting about this one. Indiana Comic Con, which is in my backyard, is the week after New York, and I keep forgetting about it because I've got a deadline for Star Trek that same weekend. So I'll be there, but I probably won't take commissions, and I'll be there with my head down,
Yeah.
there's the book.
Yeah.
So I guess I have those handful of shows. That's a lot. Oh my god.
That's a lot in a short amount of time, man.
Yeah, it's so luckily they're spaced out enough. So Lexington and Cincinnati will be back to back. Then I get a couple weeks of rest and getting caught up with Trek, and New York. Then come back and work on more Trek. And then do Indiana. Then let's hope I get it all done. Here's to more of this in the next the next month or so.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with October coming up, last year you did, was that last year or the year before, where you did the October?
Yeah.
And so I did pick up a couple pieces of that as well. But do you have plans for Inktober this year? It sounds very busy for you.
I really wanted to, but I can't this year. It's just there have been years in the past where I said I can't, and it just I didn't really want to. Last year I had a blast doing the Battober, so I wanted to do it again this year, and maybe do maybe Batman again, maybe something else, but I really can't. I barely have time to do anything right now besides Trek.
Yeah, I mean that would be what a 3 or 4 hour a day thing, right?
I mean, sometimes they were more. Sometimes I went kind of nuts on them. Because
I can show off a couple,
please,
to show off how nuts they are. Okay, so I picked up 2.
Oh wow!
The Dark Knight with all the mutants in the background and Robin Dawn.
Yeah.
You know. So, and then this one has shifted in the frame. I'll have to fix that later. But
oh yeah,
the Zuranar.
Fun. Nice. Yeah, those were so much fun. I remember I think I was working on the silent issue of Dead Legends at the time, or maybe something else. I was doing something, but also doing Battober at the same time, and I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this, but Dead Legends was so much more chill, with like, you know, Tyler and everybody at Away Blue World. Just they want the book to look the best it could be, so they kind of let us do our thing and let us take our time. And this is huge shout out to Away Blue World, and we talked about this on their podcast when they had James and I on. But like, you know, when the pandemic started, a lot of companies were giving us pencils down, and Away Blue World, we had just signed the contract to do Dead Legends 2, and they told us like, no, you keep going. We want this to happen, and make it the best you can be. No rush. No pencils down. So shout out to Away Blue World for letting us do our thing on our own time and at our own pace, and helping us make it look good.
That's the publisher that does Joe and Eric's Deadbeats, right?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
They're a really cool publisher.
They just got and Maybe Someday, and then they did All We Ever Wanted, which James and I have a story in that as well.
Yeah.
They got this new book coming out called Bloody Hell that looks rad. I think it's Clay McCormick is the artist. They're putting out some such cool stuff. Tyler put out a new book called Orphan King, which looks great. I haven't had a chance to read that yet, though. Yeah, they're constantly like putting out great stuff, and I hope they keep it up, because I think they're gonna start. Like, I don't want to speak for them, but like I think they're gonna start jumping into more series like ours. They've been awesome to take a chance on Dead Legends. We were kind of the forefront of them, you know, kind of getting away from just anthologies and being a publisher that produces series.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Dead Legends is great. I encourage everybody to pick up the first one and get on board for the second one, because you could do like 18 of these. I'd get every single one of them. I'd be down.
I wish we could. We're doing 3.
Nice.
It kind of got spilled in another interview, and people found out on Twitter and are actually talking about it today.
Yeah, I heard you say Dead Legends 3, and I was like, did he say?
So
yeah, my ears perked up right away. I was like, huh.
Yeah, so we're definitely doing a volume 3. I went to James's house a couple months ago, and we started plotting it out, and it is wild, you guys. So we the end of 2 is just crazy, and the thing with the digital issues is, please read the digital issues. It's great, but when the trade paperback comes out, you need to get the trade paperback, because there is a secret ending. There's a secret ending in Volume 1, and then there's a secret ending in Volume 2. Secret ending in Volume 2 rules.
Is kind of that's the thing in there that's like kind of almost like a post-credit scene, right? Okay.
Yeah. That was the plan.
I remember when Mignola would do that with his Hellboy collections, and I would be like, well, I got to get the trade and the issues, because there's going to be a new ending, a new epilogue.
So I don't know. We'll get there when we get there. But Volume 2 will have a post-credit scene as well that is very good.
Nice.
In my incredibly biased opinion. But it ends well, and then like it's like the way we end it, you're like, oh, these fuckers better do it. Like, can I say fuckers? they better do a Volume 3. So sorry if I'm not allowed to curse.
Oh, you can say whatever the hell you want, man. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
For the most part.
Yeah, right. Won't turn into that I think you should leave sketch where
I said good day.
Yeah. So we'd have to end it, and we turned it into Tyler when he hadn't agreed to a Volume 3 yet, but we hadn't pitched it. And he goes, it almost seems like you guys are trying to rope me into a trilogy, and we were like, so yeah,
that depends on whether you're buying it.
Yeah, right. So we had initially planned to leave off if like we didn't get 2 and 3, that one could work fine, and then we found out we could do 2, and so we did the secret ending, and then we figured if we got away with it the first time, we might as well try to go for 3. But all we've ever wanted to do is 3 volumes. That's like that has been steadfast from the beginning. As much as I'd love to go full saga with it, there are a lot of other things I want to do in this business.
Yeah.
So as much as I love Dead Legends, in the spirit of Dead Legends, where we are not afraid to kill our darlings, we're gonna kill our darling at the end of the 3rd one. So we're gonna keep it short and sweet, and I think it's gonna make a nice little package. 3 books.
You know, coincidentally, my favorite episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation is the final episode called "All Good Things" because it's true.
I haven't seen it yet.
You just wait. That's a good one. That's a really, really solid
That is
one.
a good one.
Yeah. I mean, I probably am a little past the expiration date for spoilers, but you know.
There's no super spoilers. It's just a really good character study on Picard, I would say.
Cool.
It's a really like a subtle ending. It's not like nowadays where you got to blow everybody's minds with the ending. Star Trek was different, man, because if you notice, I mean, you've been watching through it. It's like 25 episodes. They're like 45 minutes long. It's like, man, this goes on for a while, doesn't
but
it?
it's such a great, different type of storytelling that I enjoy a lot. It's so funny because doing the Mirror Wars is so vastly different from what the show is because they're evil and they are taking over planets in the world and all this stuff. They're still very talkative, but you know, it's people using their brains and trying to diplomatically solve problems. It's not a lot of shoot 'em ups, and you know, it happens sometimes, but it's fun, it's serious, but it's a lot of very diplomatic problem solving, which is kind of refreshing.
And they get in those like moral conundrums like all the time where it's like what the prime directive, and then is this right? And I love it. I love Star Trek. And there's something so soothing and calming too about the bridge sound. Like I'll just let it play on the menu on my Blu-ray, just for ambient noise.
Well, I was going to ask, is there a bunch of Mirror Universe episodes in Next Generation? I'm not sure I've seen all the episodes. I know I've seen a lot of them, but
not that I've come
across. I don't remember there being any.
I don't think they ever did any.
Exclusive just to the comics. I think there's some Deep Space Nine stuff that touches on where I think they got a little bit of the inspiration. I haven't watched Deep Space Nine yet. That's kind of something I should probably jump into.
It mostly just comes from that one episode of the original series, but I like Discovery jumps into it, and I think Enterprise jumped into it too.
Enterprise had some, yeah.
But we don't speak of Enterprise here, so.
I've heard worst theme song of all time.
Yeah,
absolute worst theme song of any show you'll ever hear.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
I kind of want to watch it now.
You should at least check out the opening.
Okay. Yeah. And cut it off.
My buddy Justin loves Enterprise so much. He's one of my big Trek nerd friends, and he loves Enterprise. Yeah. And I'm just like, nah, bro. Nah, man.
Okay.
I can't do it. I tried. I don't know.
There's some goodness in it, but yeah, it doesn't hold up to a lot of the others. I mean, they did do in season 3 where they did like tried to do a season-long story, and it kind of kept going off the rails. I don't know, but
well, to paraphrase Gavin, I got a lot more shows I want to watch. You know, so you know, sometimes you just got to kill your babies.
Yeah. So
that's right.
It's funny. I've heard, you know, I doing TNG. I've kind of wanted to jump into Picard after this, and I've heard not great things.
I like Picard. It has some interesting choices, especially at the end. But I like Picard for the most part. But I think a lot of people just like to hate on Star Trek now because there's not a Star Wars movie coming up for them to do that too. I guess I don't know. But no, I like modern Trek too. I mean, my favorite stuff is the stuff I was growing up with in the '90s, especially. You know, and Roddenberry's vision of a it's I mean, there's conflict, but it's not like space battle stuff, right? It seems like when Star Trek gets popular, it's when it's doing the space battle stuff. The movies kind of did that a little bit.
Sure.
But
I haven't seen the movies yet either. I guess I got to.
I really like some of the movies. The best next gen movie is First Contact. That's one of the best Trek films. Period.
That's actually, that's a good one.
And it's fun. Some things don't age very well, but I'm a huge fan. My favorite is the the original one, the motion picture.
Mm-hmm.
Like people hate that one.
I like that one a lot.
I love that movie.
So before Wrath of Khan,
Yeah,
because Wrath of Khan was second, right?
yeah, and that's the one like people love 2, 3, and 4, and rightly so. That's a really good kind of mini trilogy in there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, people just thought Spock was cool with the goatee, so they had to keep going back to the mirror universe.
Right? Yeah. Well, I'm not complaining. It gave me work, so
Yeah, and a jacked up Picard. You know,
yeah.
just
Oh
like
man, just so yoked.
Yep.
Like I've got Riker on my page right now, and he's and Geordi's stacked too.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Because,
Buff
like,
Geordie. All right.
he's been lifting instead of reading.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny because like he's so much shorter than Riker. So like, and that's something the licensors look for. They're like, we want them to be like, their actual size comparatively to each other. So
Because there's some Trek fans out there that would be like, yo,
I can't wait. I'm just like this is probably going to be the thing that this is going to be my most popular project to date, just because it's Star Trek, so we have a lot of eyes on it. I've already gotten, just being announced, I ended up getting like a couple hundred followers on Twitter and Instagram over it, and it was just like I was only announced for it. You haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah.
So I can't. We'll see. I'm probably gonna get some backlash. I might get some positive reviews, but well, I'm looking forward to it either way.
Well, looking at your style from Dead Legends and some of your other work, I'm excited to see what you're going to do, because I like a lot of what IDW does with Star Trek, but I don't always enjoy the art the most. So I'm really, really pumped.
It's interesting because like I feel like I work in Mirrorverse. I don't know if they put me on Year 5 or like original series stuff. I don't know if I'd make it work. They gave me a job. Hell yeah, I'd do it. But like I think this fits. This is a really good fit. Because it lets me kind of just be me, but within the confines of I do have to abide by some Star Trek rules. But like I do get to experiment and kind of go off the rails from time to time. It's fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, did you get some good feedback on that or reviews on that convention banner you've been posting? Because that looks dope.
Yeah. People like that.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. I even, well, it's too bad because I was pitching for covers for Star Trek, and it's not going to happen because they had already filled the slate before they got me on it. But I sent it to my editor, and she's like, all right, we're gonna try to find a way to get this published. And I was like, all right, well, if something opens up, cool. If not, I needed a con banner anyway. It's fine. So maybe that'll be a cover. Maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe for the trade or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Are there any people always want us to ask creators when they're on here this question? So are there any big 2 characters that you would love to get to take a shot at?
Yes. No. Yeah, of course.
All right, moving on.
No. I'll really answer it. Of course there is. I'd love to do a Wolverine. I'd love to do a Daredevil run. That's
oh wow, yeah,
that would be huge.
That would be so dope.
Daredevil would be awesome, or something in that Daredevil universe. So got a chance to do Elektra. Hell yeah. As far as DC goes, Nightwing, but that's almost like saying Daredevil anyway. So, but Nightwing, yeah,
basically,
I'd love
it's a happier Daredevil.
I know, right? And also, like the Flash, maybe a Justice League run. Definitely a Flash is a very bucket list as a kid character for me.
Nice.
Always, of course, everyone wants to do Batman. But like Justice League would be big because Justice League is some of my favorite comics. So whenever I go to conventions and I go back issue hunting, I usually tend to get a lot of old Satellite era Justice League stuff. Morrison's Justice League run was huge for me.
I love that run.
Oh my god, it's so good.
So good.
But so is like it's crazy because there's a lot of Justice League runs that I absolutely love, and some I can't stand actually. But I could pass on Justice League Detroit. But
It's got its charm, right?
does. It has
Aquaman
its
was in
moments.
charge. Come on, man.
Yeah, he was. But I love Giffen and Dave Mateus' Justice League International stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That stuff is Booster and a beetle on the island of Kui Kui Kui. That is.
That issue is. Those,
Oh
that
my
part is
god,
so
it's
fun.
so good.
DC needs better collections of that stuff,
I
like
know.
paperback collections of that.
I think I have a good chunk of them. Actually,
Nice.
I have. If you'll indulge me,
Of course.
don't mind the pajama pants. They're in eyesight. I have up to I got a chunk of it, man.
Nice.
So I've got this first printing trade,
Oh,
which is
wow.
interesting. Yeah, and I think I got it signed. I got it signed by McGuire at a show I was across from.
Oh,
One time.
cool.
But
Awesome.
yeah, and then there's these newer ones where they got rid of. It was back when they had the Saturn-looking DC logo with the star.
Yeah.
These were.
I got to check and see if those are still in print and order them for the shop, man. I love that run.
Yeah, I think
That's
I got
fun
them
stuff. The thing is, I've heard.
stock trades or something like that.
Nice. We probably have every issue of it, though.
Right.
So,
And I still end up picking up like the back issues of it. Like I ended up I was at this small one-day show in Kokomo, Indiana a couple weeks ago, and I ended up buying like a full long box, which I never do. But like I was just looking through this guy's stuff, and like he cut me a deal, and I was like, yeah. And there's like I ended up getting some JLI stuff that I probably already have like 3-4 copies of anyway, because I'm ridiculous. Again, I'm a pack rat.
yeah.
But anyway, Justice League would be good. And as far as other projects that are big, always wanted to do a Turtles run, and I've always wanted to Judge Dredd.
Oh, wow.
And IDW has both of those, so we'll
Yeah.
see.
Nice.
I know some people there now. So
Yeah, that's
so,
good, man.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. I hope you get that. Your work on Turtles would be really cool.
I think so. And again, Dredd is a big bucket list character for me. I'm a
Yeah.
fan of Bolland growing up, so.
Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. And the Sylvester Stallone movie, of course.
You know what? Not as far off from what Judge Dredd really is as it is. Judge
Yeah.
Dredd is kind of a campy character by nature, so it works, I think. Although, Dredd did rule, but it's got Rob Schneider in it, so.
Yeah. The newer one is definitely more of a favorite of mine, I would say. But there's still there's a charm to that 90s one
Absolutely.
that's fun.
Yeah.
like a Demolition Man type charm to it, which I love. So
And they were so close together too.
it's almost just like the same movie. Like Rob Schneider's in both of them. like it's like what's going
That's
on?
right. I wonder if they were just buds for a while.
They probably just
and,
made.
like-
What if they were?
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone and just hanging out.
Yeah.
That'd be weird. Then they have a falling out. Like, what's that story?
Yeah.
What's the falling out?
Like he left him to go back to his old boyfriend Adam Sandler.
Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna go do Deuce Bigelow.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone's like, don't do it. You'll never melt to anything.
Right. Yeah.
You could have been in the Expendables, kid.
Oh man. Damn. Can you imagine that? Like Schneider just went on to be like this crazy action villain. Like if he just like kept with the Stallone route and like I don't know.
That is the true origin of the mirror universe, by the
yeah.
way.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say
what
it's a mirror
happened.
universe. Rob Schneider.
No,
Yeah.
Nobody let Rob Schneider see this conversation. He might try to do it all. So
I'd love it.
as much as I'd love to get your show out there, let's not let him see this.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it. Brian, you got any other questions for Gavin before we wrap everything up?
Well, I was gonna wanted to bring up the Sue and the Boys show.
Sure.
Too. The way I found out about it was Brent Fisher. They
Carol Collector.
Carol Collector. Yeah, they tagged me in a tweet from Sue's drawing of Clarion, which he knew was special to me because of it has to do with when I first met my wife, and I was being real nerdy and showing her pictures of Clarion because I was real attached to 7 Soldiers at the time, so he thought of me, you know, and so I didn't realize that was a show, you know, going on, and I bought it from her, and then realized it was a show and started watching it and realized you were on there too. So I didn't know if you want to talk about that show some.
It's funny because it's Sue and the Boys is really only what we call it for the Instagram account, because you know we don't really. It's not officially called Sue and the Boys. It's just kind of Sue's Twitch stream that we happen to meet at every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. For those watching, and yeah, it's cool. It's me, Sue Lee, Ricardo Lopez Ortiz, Josh Hickson, Tyler Boss, Tom Riley, Craig Cermak, Adam Gorham. Who am I missing? Tom Riley? Did I say Tom Riley?
Yeah, you did. I mean, I know David's on there a bunch. David Stokes.
Yeah, so Dave Stokes and Sweeney Boo, Rossi Gifford. There's... I'm going to feel bad. Who am I forgetting? Oh, well. You know, we get on there and just kind of talk. You know, we're not trying to promote anything. Usually we do a round of promoting the things we're working on at the end of the stream, but... you know, it's just us there and having fun, and it's kind of started as when the pandemic struck up. We were already all in a group chat because almost all of us are repped by Modern Mythology, and those like Sweeney and Rossi and Adam aren't, but they were involved except for Sweeney with Inky Knuckles, which was a part of Modern Mythology, and then they just split off to, you know, Cam up in Canada took all the Canadian artists, and Josh is in America, he took all the American artists, so like we're all still buds, so it's fine. But yeah, so we were on this group chat, and we just decided let's just do this. It's fun, and like, you know, maybe we promote it, and like, you know, we're all working on commissions and just kind of talking, and it turned into a thing, and we started getting a following, and yeah, it's a blast to do. Thursdays at 8. Come join us, Eastern.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, you got a crowd of folks that are pretty much always watching, you know, chatting and everything like that. And there's always a theme, and not everybody's like necessarily doing it, but you know, I don't know. It's a blast.
And that's the thing. We're all working on something, you know, which is nice, and kind of just, you know, coincidental that like all of us are working for pretty much like every company right now. Like Tyler's doing stuff for Image, I'm doing stuff for IDW, Ricardo's and Josh are doing DC stuff, Tom's doing Marvel, Craig I think is doing, I forget who he's working for right now. I know we just did a book through Top Cow. Josh has a different book out through Dark Horse. Adam's working for Vault. You know, we're all over the place. So you know, when we find these breaks in the schedules, like, you know, like this past week, I had just turned in an issue of Trek, so I was able to jump in on the stream and do the theme. So we did JSA this week. I did a drawing of the Spectre.
It's dope.
Thank you. But I'm not going to be on it this week because I'm going to be traveling to Lexington for this convention. So, you know, maybe I'll jump on next week if I have time, and maybe I'll have time to do the theme, maybe not. But
yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, it's a very cool show, and a lot of the pieces are for sale and stuff like that too. So you know.
Yeah, art collectors, find us.
Yeah, Brian has, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Collecting art's super cool. I need more of it. I just buy like posters and then never hang them up. Anyway, that's super. Yeah. Here's a question that I ask everybody when they come on for the most part. Have you ever had like any kind of supernatural or paranormal experience? Like, have you ever seen a UFO or a ghost or anything like that?
I've never seen a ghost. No, I don't think so.
Like, you're thinking about it. That's interesting.
I've done a lot of stuff in my day.
Gotcha.
But I don't think so. No. I'm not going to deny that, you know, ghosts and aliens and whatnot are out there. But I think maybe I'm just not interesting enough for him.
Are any of us really? I mean, let's be
Yeah,
honest, right?
Like,
We're just
some
a
ghost
freak
tries
show.
to haunt me, and they're like, "This dude spends 12 hours a day at a desk. I'm gonna go find something cool to haunt."
That would be a good story, actually.
Yeah,
I'm coming up with the idea right now about a ghost and his frustration trying to haunt this artist who's just so zoned in trying to meet the deadline.
He doesn't seem to care. Just doesn't care.
Yeah. I like that. I like that idea. Well, Gavin, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're going to let you get back to work.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on. This was fun.
All right. We're looking forward to Star Trek and Dead Legends and all that stuff. Super fun. So
Thank you.
You're now a friend of the show. And anytime you got something you want to talk about, you want to hang out, just give us a call. Who are you going to call? You can call PCP. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Everybody check him out. Brian, thank you for being here, of course. And for fixing your camera angle a little bit. I appreciate that. And showing off the amazing artwork.
Yeah.
Everybody go check out Gavin's works. Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
No
you can
problem.
follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Gavin P. Smith. P as in Patrick. See you there.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Stay